Everything's on the table. We don't know if this is specifically a hate crime defined by law, but who walks into a dance hall and guns down 20 people? The description we have now is of a male Asian. Does that matter? I don't know. I can tell you that everything's on the table. Our detectives are looking at every possibility with our partners. Age range, somewhere between the age of 30 and 50. There is a wide range, and those are things that our detectives, as we're sitting here now for the last several hours, and we have several homicide teams working here. It's amazing when you can pick up the phone, and I have other agencies coming. What can we do to help? We want this guy off the street. So we're working very hard, and we're hoping, actually, should be putting out a better description here in the next several hours.
You walked the scene?
The actual scene, I have not. I've been at the crime scene, but not the actual shooting scene.
The question I have is, based on the scene, I don't know if you or Captain Meyer can answer this, based on the locations of the bodies, does it look like there was an intentional direction that the shooter was aimed at, or does it look like it was random across the board?
Those are questions that we will be able to answer, just not at this time.
Ammunition and weapons used, potentially any description of that, and can you please also describe what other incidents you are trying to investigate as far as their possible connection to this, including you want to know how long?
Yes. So let me start off with the last question regarding the city of Alhambra. We are working diligently with the Alhambra Police Department. We believe that there's an incident that may be related. We're not quite there yet, but it's definitely on our radar screen, where a male Asian suspect walked into a dance hall, and he walked in there with a firearm, and some individuals wrestled the firearm away from him, and that individual took off. Now, some witnesses in that area are describing a white cargo van. We don't know, though, at this time, if it is connected. That white van should be considered a van of interest at this point. Again, detectives looking at multiple locations, multiple clues, and I know how hard they're working. In regards to the firearm, obviously, there were multiple rounds fired at the first location where we have all the victims and survivors. We don't know how many rounds were fired. Different weapons have been described. In regards to the specific weapon, we don't believe it was an assault rifle at this time, but again, that's part of the investigation that we're looking at, just to make sure, and I don't want to put out bad information.
Sheriff, without giving us things that you cannot tell us, do you have things, solid leads right now, which are possibly connecting you to this gunman right now? I know you cannot give us details of them, but do you have some solid leads which give you hope that you're going to find this person fairly quickly?
I always have hope, and we have amazing detectives out here. The resources that they have are utilizing out here. There are multiple leads that we are following, but please keep in mind our priority here is obviously we get to the victims, we get to the survivors, we're going to wrap our arms around the families, but the next top priority is to arrest the person who did this, charge them, and get them prosecuted to the full extent of the law, no matter what the intent, motive, or anything was. So,
Sheriff, that the suspect knew anyone inside that dance hall?
that's always a possibility. Again, very early on in this investigation, that's a possibility. When you're a good detective, you don't take anything off the table. Everything's a possibility, and that could be one of them.
Has anyone said that in either of these two places we think we know the person?
We are still in the process of interviewing dozens of witnesses, and I'm not going to get into detail yet about what they said. Look at how many cameras are in front of me. Suspect could be watching right now.
Sheriff, the Alhambra incident, is there a weapon if he was disarmed? Do you have a weapon from that incident?
We do.
Can you tell us what it is?
Not at this time.
Do you think that that could be your weapon from the crime here?
It absolutely could be. We don't know yet.
Can you please describe the victims as far as their age range, gender, race, anything you can tell us?
In regards to the 10 deceased victims, my understanding, we have 5 females and 5 males. In regards to their specific ages, we have not been able to identify any of them yet. We will do that with our partners at the coroner's office when the time comes. I want to say it happened within 20 to 30 minutes of the first incident that we're here discussing. It happened after the Monterey Park incident.
Do you know how many people were inside the dance hall in Monterey Park?
I don't have that information, but there were dozens of people in there.
Sheriff, why no shelter in place order? Why no shelter in place order for the community?
We don't believe that's necessary at this time, but we will consistently evaluate that. And if we believe that there's an absolute danger to the public, we're going to take every precaution necessary. We have a lot of resources out all over the place, and I don't think we're there yet, but it's always an option in the toolbox.
Were all the victims, as far as you know, of Asian descent, the people who were killed, the people who were wounded?
We don't have that specific information yet because we have not identified them yet, but the assumption is that probably yes, but
Any children among the dead or injured?
no.
Do you know anything? I'm sorry. Do you know anything about the event? Was it advertised? Was it like? Was there music audible on the street? Like, do you know anything about how someone would have known about this?
I don't have that specific information, but we'll put that out later.
Is it safe to say that your teams are scouring video right now to get him running away?
Our teams are doing a lot of things right now. That's one of many.
Sheriff, can you talk about the time frame here? When the call came in, how long it took for officers to get to the scene, when they went in, and how much time did this guy have to exit the area?
Chief Weiss, if you want to talk about the initial response to the scene. Thank you.
So we received 911 calls starting at 10:22 in the evening. The incident, as you all know, is very close to the police station. We were just wrapping up the final shutdown of the Lunar New Year event. I had dozens of officers here throughout the day and the evening at the Lunar New Year event. So our response to the scene was within minutes. I don't have the exact time. The initial officers that responded saw dozens of people exiting. Some were injured, some weren't, and we handled them as they came out, began to triage that, and my officers put together a REACT team and went inside to see if the suspect was still inside. They were probably entering that business within a minute or two of responding, and that's how we've been trained, and that's how we respond to situations like this. And I want to address the shelter in place. We have a very tight community here. They share information with us, and our partnership with our community is very, very strong. We've put out information to them about their safety, and we welcome their questions to us. I have dozens of officers here on the street today, not just from my agency, from agencies all over, both local, county, state, and federal. This is a safe community right now, but we're going to continue to be vigilant until we take this suspect into custody, wherever they are.
Chief, can you speak to the possibility of this being a result of a domestic dispute between a husband and wife?
That's all part of the investigation. Everything's on the table. And yeah, the more people you talk to, the more information we get, and our detectives are amazing. And we'll
can I ask you,
we'll get
just to understand the time frame between the Monterey Park incident and the Alhambra incident. What time was the incident in Alhambra, to get a better idea? This was 10:22 in Monterey Park. That lasted a little while. You said it was about 20 minutes to get to Alhambra. What time was that one?
So if we're looking at the Alhambra incident, approximately 10:22, and from the information preliminarily that we have now, we're talking about between 17 minutes to 20 minutes later, the Alhambra incident occurs.
So Monterey Park was first, Alhambra was
Yes,
second.
sir. Monterey Park unfortunately occurred first.
Thank you.
Speak at all to the caliber of the weapon that you recovered?
Apart from the Alhambra and Monterey Park incident?
In Monterey Park, I understand that there was also a restaurant where a shooting may have occurred. Can you clarify the name of the business that it happened in?
Yeah, I don't have information about that at this time. Maybe that's just some new detail that's coming up, whether it's out there. We'll clarify that.
Can you clarify the name of the business the shooting happened in?
I don't have.
The business is.
To the microphone, please.
Well,
He's going to say something.
yeah. Can we pause on that, on the name of the business, just out of respect for the business owners and the victims and survivors? And then we'll work on you as soon as we can get that out. And I heard the question over here to my right about caliber.
The caliber of the weapon you recovered, or if the rounds are consistent with the weapon that you recovered.
That's still, we're still looking at that. And I would prefer not to put the caliber out at this second, just because it may hinder what we're trying to do. And again, remember, our priority is we got to get this guy in custody. And that's exactly what we plan to do.
Can you describe what happened in the Alhambra location, how witnesses, people stopped the suspect?
Not in detail at this time, other than what I described earlier, that this suspect walked in armed, and he was disarmed by a couple of individuals. So that's.
You are telling people that it is safe to attend Chinese New Year events in this area.
Yes. Yes, and if that changes for any reason, we will immediately notify our community through all of you.
At this point, can you say anything about the weapon that was found at Alhambra? Was that a long rifle? Was that an AR? What was that?
It was not an assault rifle. Thank you.